It's time to
Yu-Gi-Oh has always played a large role in my life. From getting my first cards as a toddler, to watching the series throughout my childhood, Yu-Gi-Oh is a massive part of my identity. It has now materialized into me being an introverted 20-something-year-old that spends too much money on cardboard with a Millennium puzzle on their body who believes in the heart of the cards. Yu-Gi-Oh for me has not always been a constant presence in my life, unfortunately. I was not as in touch with Yu-Gi-Oh in my teenage years, and my cards were, for a few years, packed up in a cupboard to collect dust. However, once I moved cities for university, something pulled me back into this beautiful world. This thing that pulled me back in was a video game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. It became the fire starter for my journey back into the Yu-Gi-Oh! World over the past several years. Many Yu-Gi-Oh! Games back in the day are quite harsh to new players and focus solely on the card game, or turns it into a different game entirely. This is not the case for Legacy of the Duelist. This game blends the show and the card game together seamlessly for an all-around great experience. In the game, you play through the stories and major duels of all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Animated series. That's everything from the original series that occupied my young imagination, up to the newest anime, excluding Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush, which concluded in 2019. It's a great way to get back into this incredible franchise, so I thought it would be fun to brainwash all of you with this too. Maybe it will inspire one of you to go back and experience Yu-Gi-Oh! For yourself. I promise getting a tattoo in relation to it doesn't happen to everybody. That part is completely optional. So, without further ado, welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It lets me know you like this style of content and to make more of it in the future. I really enjoyed pouring my heart and soul into this video, and I hope you all did too. I really appreciate any of the support that is provided to me on this channel. I can't thank you guys enough. Now, back into the video. The game and show starts where any normal piece of media starts, in a high school. This is where we meet our main protagonists that you will be reliving the duels of. Yugi and Joey. Taya and Tristan are also here. You used Taya once and Tristan is really here for moral support. Towards the end of this part, you are introduced to Mr.
Screw the rules, I have money.
Seto Kaiba himself. Along with Yugi and Joey, Kaiba is the other character you will play as through the entire game outside of 2 duels. We will touch on one of these later. After the tutorial, we get into that infamous duel that pulled every kid at the time into this world. Yugi versus Kaiba. It is an incredible introduction to what both of these characters are all about. Kaiba being all about power and overwhelming his opponents, while Yugi and his alter ego, who is actually a different entity completely that lives in the puzzle, we'll get to him, rely on the heart of the cards, the power of friendship, and ridiculous amounts of plot armor. When you play this duel, I always try to summon Exodia just like Yugi does in the show. I find it always provides an extra challenge and it makes you feel like you're truly reliving the story. After this massive battle, we are introduced to the first big bad of the series in Pegasus, who is so iconic by the way. That voice, the style, the power, all makes for an extremely memorable personality. As you see in everyday life, Yugi gets sucked into the Shadow Realm through the TV, runs out of time in a duel, and his grandpa's soul gets trapped. You know, really normal stuff. The only way for us to save Grandpa is to win the Duelist Kingdom tournament. The Duelist Kingdom tournament is Pegasus's tournament he hosts on his own private island. No, not that kind of private island. So, from here, we have our first goal. Go to Duelist Kingdom, win the tournament, defeat Pegasus, and rescue Grandpa's soul. Duelist Kingdom, home to the most memorable and messy arc of the entire franchise. Memorable for so many amazing characters that bring feelings out of you. Whether you adore them or want to punt them off a cliff, they all make you feel something. It's messy in the way playing that game you made up as a kid was messy. You're just making up the rules as you go along, and whoever can be the most creative with the rules, or lack of them, wins. This is exactly what happens in the show during Duelist Kingdom. The rules don't make sense, and the protagonists constantly win in weird and wacky ways. Our first opponent we come across is none other than Bug Boy himself, Weevil Underwood. This regional champion is an interesting character. When I refer to wanting to punt characters off a cliff, this is exactly who I'm talking about. Weevil is a sneaky menace that uses nefarious strategies to give himself a leg up in his duels. Before they arrive on Duelist Kingdom, Weevil throws the Exodia pieces, yes, that exact thing you used to win that first duel, Yugi's strongest cards, into the damn ocean. Bye bye Exodia, you're never seeing those again. Needless to say, we made Weevil pay for this and wiped the floor with him. The end to this duel in the show is a great example of making up the rules. Yugi makes the playing field wet, fires off a lightning strike with one of his monsters, frying Weevil's ace bug and winning himself the duel. Because that's obviously how Yu-Gi-Oh works. We don't want to pay attention to attack points or anything like that, we just play off vibes. This proceeds to continue for the next few duels. Joey beats Mai, who uses perfume to try psych out her opponents with psychic powers. Mako's fish get dried up by Yugi attacking the literal moon with a rock sword, and Joey beating the Dino Duelist Rex Raptor by turning his red eyes into dust with Time Wizard, who, funnily enough, causes a lot of jank throughout the entire show. Just a small detail, Rex was my favourite duelist as a kid. I just really like dinosaurs, what can I say? I'm very easy to please. We finish off our first day on the island with a friendly shadow game around the campfire with Bakura and the evil spirit that possesses him. What? Don't you play shadow games at the dead of night around a fire with your friends? Sounds like you're the weird one. For day 2, it is once again mostly business as usual. Yugi takes down one of Pegasus's cronies, Panic, by dropping Panic's own castle on top of his monsters. Yes, that's right. A floating castle, squishing his own monsters. Did I stutter? Joey also easily disposes of Bones, one of Bandit Keith's little henchmen. This zombie duelist's only scary thing about him is he looks like he's been taking some heavy doses of Ozempic. Okay, before moving on, I need to address the large New York elephant in the room. Joey is apparently a god at this game. In the show, and especially through our playthrough. In the show, he at least starts out with the best luck I have ever seen, and proceeds to slowly get better and improve as a duelist, becoming one of the best duelists in the world. In our playthrough, he just stayed being a luck god and never lost. Not a single restart the entire time, completely undefeated and undisputed. Even Yugi would lose every once in a while, not Joey. Whenever Joey was controlled by us, he became an absolute demolition machine. No one is safe from this man. Now that my rant is over, we arrive at another climactic duel. Another Yugi versus Kaiba showdown. However, this time, we're on the side of Kaiba. This may be because in the show he may or may not threaten to throw himself off of the building if he loses, which is obviously a very sane thing to do, regardless of the hidden intentions behind it. These intentions aren't actually hidden to us. Pegasus has Kaiba's brother's soul, as is standard. But I'm not going to go into that whole part of the story. I have enough pages of this script already. Playing this battle sucks. Yugi feels amazingly well equipped to deal with the deck Kaiba has in store for you. You're trying to pull off a Crush Card Virus combo with the one copy of that card you have. Plus, that will never work as well as it does in the show because the card doesn't work the same anymore, thanks Konami. Alternatively, you can try and get through using your boss monster, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, but have fun getting through all of the mirror forces and swords of revealing light that Yugi has. Even if you get through all of those obstacles, he will just whip out a mystic box to get rid of that singular win condition of yours. I don't know if you can tell, but even as your opponent, it feels like Yugi has crazy plot armor. Sorry, I misspoke. He has the heart of the cards. The battle where you play as Kaiba, however, is not actually the stinkiest deck you use in the game by a long shot. Enter stage left Pegasus and his goddamn Toon World deck. Listen, in the show, Pegasus is this all-powerful creator of the game that can read your every move with his Millennium Eye and basically never loses. Maybe that Millennium item is why his toons don't suck in the show, because oh boy, they really suck in the actual game. This is easily the duel I struggle with the most, if my little outburst didn't make that clear enough. This took me 45 minutes to beat, double-digit attempts, and every second was pain. Kaiba's deck has magically gotten better from when you used it, blocking you at every step. That's not even mentioning that your two monsters have to wait a full turn before they can attack. Yes, summoning sickness is in the game that barely includes summoning sickness. It's okay. It's fine. Just breathe.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Eventually, luckily for us, Kaiba bricked and we managed to win the duel, allowing for actual progression in the story. The next couple of duels were business as usual. Yugi getting past Mai after a couple of attempts, and Joey absolutely wiping the floor with Bandit Keith, who managed to somehow not play a single monster the entire duel. I cannot begin to express how lucky this is. For people that have played this game, and every other time I have played this game, and even later on in this very playthrough, Bandit Keith is such a difficult hurdle to get over, and Joey just waltzed through it like it was nothing. We then have Yugi's duel versus Joey in the Duelist Kingdom final. Joey puts up a great fight as we have come to expect, however, he was no match for our plot armor. Sorry, our heart of the cards. However, being the luck god he is, he did still find a way to bring out his time wizard and proceed to wipe away my strongest monster off the board. You know, just typical Joey Wheeler things. This is so gross. I understand we're in Duelist Kingdom and all people do is just plop down their monsters when they're like, oh yeah, I'm allowed to do this. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. I've been time wizarded. I've been goddamn time wizarded. This brings us to the final battle and conclusion of the Duelist Kingdom arc. Yugi versus Pegasus. This is such an intense back and forth battle in the show, and I feel like it has the same presence in this game as well. Everything you've been playing for up until this moment has been leading up to this duel. Pegasus also got rid of his toons, thank God, and actually has a balanced deck. It feels like he really goes toe to toe with you, giving you a huge sense of accomplishment once you beat him, being crowned the king of games. To sum up, Duelist Kingdom may be messy, it may not follow the rules, leading to some really strange deck builds, but boy, does it reel you into this immersive world and create some unbreakable bonds between you and these characters. For better or for worse. I'm looking at you, Pegasus, we need to have a talk. The next original series arc is, I believe, YuGiOh's magnum opus, Battle City. We finally learn more about the spirit inside Yugi's Millennium Puzzle. The spirit is an ancient Egyptian king. Wait, sorry. How did that get there? Someone must have tampered with my video. 1 second. Much better. Anyway, as I was saying, the spirit is from 5,000 years ago, where they used to play shadow games in the past for much higher stakes. He locked his spirit away in the puzzle because he knew that one day he would need to save the world once again. At this point in time, the spirit, who we will now refer to as the Pharaoh, does not remember his past, and this arc is the journey to him regaining those memories. We begin with Yugi talking to a fortune teller in order to try and help the Pharaoh, only for this mysterious figure to steal Yugi's puzzle and run off with it. Yugi catches up to the thief and it turns out it's Bandit Keith. I would like to point out the bandit in Bandit Keith really comes into play here. But at the same time, is it really Bandit Keith? Before an explanation is given, we are launched straight into this first duel of the Battle City arc. Now, as I mentioned previously, Bandit Keith, and this version in particular, is a pain to duel. His powerful machines that swarm the field, and his blast spheres and adhesive explosives that stick to your monsters and blow them up, along with a few extra fun surprises, provide a really tough set of circumstances to overcome. It does take me quite a while, but we scrape through by the skin of our teeth. After this little run-in, the Battle City tournament finally commences. This tournament was created by Big Man Kaiba himself, with one goal in mind: to collect all 3 Egyptian god cards. What are the 3 Egyptian god cards? To put it bluntly, they are the 3 biggest auto-win cards in the entire show. Pegasus created these based off of 3 Egyptian deities. However, once Pegasus made the cards, they proved to be too powerful, and he locked them away for them never to show up again. But guess what? They're here! Our next big bad, who we have technically already met, stole 2 of the 3 god cards, and the 3rd god card was gifted to Kaiba at the beginning of this arc. Kaiba, being his power-hungry self, decides obviously one god isn't enough, and the Battle City tournament was created, with the stipulation that whoever wins the duel obtains the loser's rarest card. Back to our story, Joey actually loses a battle. I would like to point out we weren't controlling him, but still, Crazy, right? And loses his red eyes to one of the big bad's henchmen, who are called the Rare Hunters. They hunt rare cards, so obviously a very creative name. Of course, Yugi challenges this rare hunter, named Seeker, to a duel to get back Joey's red eyes. This duel might be the most infamous duel in the entire game. Seeker is very special because he has not one, not two, but 3 copies of each Exodia piece. This means, with his deck built around these cards, he has the potential to auto-win at any given moment, so you have to play this so aggressively. Safe to say, I got a couple of times. Nothing absolutely outrageous though, and I got lucky compared to a lot of other people I've seen before. Finally, after a few attempts, I defeated Seeker by getting rid of all of the heads of Exodia. Yes, I thought about making a joke about it. And I kinda did. Perfect. Oh my god, we're about to beat him. You ain't winning now, fella. Get rid of your Exodias. Get them out of here. No more head for you. No more head for you. I'm sorry. After this point, we start rolling through the initial Battle City duels. Joey somehow beats Weeble. He had about 10 different chances to win, but I guess he just got overwhelmed by Joey's sheer Joey-ness. Yugi smashes through some shoddy magician with an emo dark magician at his disposal, and then comes across the next big milestone in the story. Strings. Strings is another rare hunter, however this battle is quite special because Strings is wielding an Egyptian god card. After getting blasted in the face by this thing the first go around, we're much more careful the second time and we actually get the win. This is the only time in the entire arc when an Egyptian god is defeated without the opponent also wielding an Egyptian god themselves. This truly emphasizes 1, how powerful these beasts truly are, and 2, that Yugi and the Pharaoh really are the king of games and might be the most powerful duelists in the entire world. In the game after this point, we head straight to the Battle City Finals. Here we meet our 8 finalists. We have Yugi, Joey, and Kaiba, obviously, outside of the big 3 that we've come to know and love. We have Mai, who we met at Duelist Kingdom. We have Bakura, our favorite little shadow game friend. We have Ishizu, who is the mysterious person that gave Kaiba his Egyptian god card in the first place. Then, a man claiming to be our big bad, who goes by the name of Marek. And finally, Namu, a friend that Taya and Tristan seem to have made along the way. Obviously, we had to evolve these 2 somehow in this arc, right? Quickly breezing through most of the quarterfinals, Yugi beats Bakura. Joey took out the so-called Marek with ease, as we always seem to do, with both casually getting struck by lightning in the middle of the duel in the show. At this point, once this happens, we actually find out that Namu is the real Marek. Who we were told was Marek is actually his right-hand man and adopted brother Odeon, who was also actually sealing away the dark side of Marek this whole time. Well, Odeon's not doing his job anymore, so Bad Marek is now free. And yes, that's right, he wasn't actually that bad before, and Bad Marek is a big problem. The real Marek then proceeds to beat Mai in their quarterfinal and trap her in the Shadow Realm. Kaiba then wins the last quarterfinal against Ishizu, who also has a Millennium item and can see into the future, but Kaiba has an Egyptian god that Ishizu gave him. So he pretty much just says deal with it. The semi-finals give us 2 absolutely incredible matchups, starting with our final Yugi versus Kaiba duel with some extra added god-on-god action. Even though there is a final after this, I actually consider this to be the greatest duel we ever see in any of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Animated series. Seeing Yugi and Kaiba go back and forth using everything they've learned throughout the entire series to try and best each other really does make this feel like the climax of both of their arcs. In regards to how we actually fared, Kaiba smashed my face in the first time around before I got my own back the second time, finishing this duel sadly a little quicker than I would have hoped for. Marek then proceeds to beat Joey and sends him to the Shadow Realm as well. I would quickly like to come back here for Joey and call bull on this match. He absolutely would have won that duel had he not passed out, causing for the most gut-wrenching moment I've felt during this entire series. There's only one other moment in Yu-Gi-Oh's history where I have been this upset. Our final duel against Marek also ends up being quite anticlimactic. Full of rage, I was personally, I'm sure Yugi was cool, calm, and collected about all of this. We breeze through this final duel of Battle City, ending a long but complete arc, ending in us really saving the world from a madman in certain darkness. After Battle City concludes, the game heads to the final battle of the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. Yes, I know that we are missing out on talking about the people from Atlantis and the Orichalcos arc, and going back in time. Yes, this all happens after Battle City in the series. Oh my god, we really tick every box here, don't we? But as most of the side arcs outside of the Orichalcos arc aren't actually included in the original series playthrough of this game, I'm not going to cover those. The final battle is a Yugiception. Yugi versus the Pharaoh in one final battle to finally let the Pharaoh's spirit rest. This really shows off how much both Yugi and the Pharaoh have learned from each other and how they've grown throughout the series. The Pharaoh has learned kindness, the importance of friendship, and a big heart, while Yugi has learned how to be confident within himself, which is what has allowed him to make so many friends on this journey. This entire duel revolves around growth, and I think it really speaks to something inside of you, and it is able to tug at anybody's heartstrings. After beating the Pharaoh can finally leave this world and rest. This scene, it gets me every time, man. Well, what a ride it has been. To summarize, as much as I might have struggled with particular parts of this game, I couldn't recommend this game anymore. It is the closest we've ever got in a video game to being transported into the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! And without this, I maybe never would have come back to this wonderful franchise. So I will always be forever grateful. After all of this, what do you think? If you have enjoyed the journey, or even want to see us look at other Yu-Gi-Oh! Series in the future, please drop a like on this video and comment to let me know. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.